Gamer Feed Radio.
What's going on, everybody out there in podcast land? This is Gamer Feed Radio, back from the grave, resurrected, but we're still here, or something. Hello, everyone. I am your host, Nick Delicave, and I'm joined today by my usual assailants, with one new secret covert operative. Brad Wallace. Say hi, Brad. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up? How's it going? What's there here? It's been a while. We had a summer break there. That was good. I felt like I was back in school or something. And now we're ready to start classes again with Professor Nick. So
No. Don't give me that much credit. And of course, the one and only Kyle Pope is also joining us. Kyle, what's up, buddy?
Hello, everybody. How you doing? Missed you.
Oh my God. So speaking of which, Kyle, any booze this evening? Have you intaken any alcoholic beverages?
No, not today. Not yet.
That's really disappointing because the fan mail that I received from the last episode, where I believe you had seven or so before you started, it was excellent. It was excellent. That's good. So
I remember that being a good one. We our season finale was pretty great, actually, if you want to call it that, right?
The last show was epic.
Yeah. No F's were given that day, so
especially by you. So we have a newcomer alert to the team, and so Brad, I'm going to go ahead and defer introductions to you. But please introduce Mr. Newman. What's up, everybody? Brad.
Okay, so cue the Smash Bros. A new challenger approaches here, but no, my buddy David Newman is joining the team. Hopefully, semi-regularly, right? And he is hopefully going to bring a PC gaming angle to the conversation because, as we all know, we're all sorely lacking.
Or an Xbox, if what Microsoft is saying is going to be true.
This is true. This is true.
That is certainly possible.
We do not care about Xbox, so good on you.
Well, no, actually, let's go there. Let's what was it? Windows 10 is going to be the same as Xbox. Like every game is going to play on Windows now. Is that the?
That is what they are saying. Yeah, that is the plan.
Like Gears 4, Forza, whatever the fuck they're on. Sorry, pardon the language.
Explicit. Anyway.
Like Forza, Horizon, Xbox on, whatever you call it.
Halo 40.
Halo 4D.
It's the VR title.
4D. I like it.
That's
going to be an interesting move. We'll see how that pans out.
Excellent.
But,
So Dave, or I guess everyone's going to be calling you Newman, so that you clearly stick out.
He's new.
Tell us a little bit about yourself. What's your favorite kind of game? Give everybody sort of a little introduction as to who you
Game
is.
for street cred. Yeah,
street cred.
Street cred. All right. Well, if anybody PC is listening, I've got the i5 4590 and RX 470. I just got.
Wow.
Oh, it's worth mentioning there. I've been playing Skyrim for like a year straight without going to work because there's just so much to get into there. I got Madden on my Xbox that I've been playing. I played Halo with Brad like every day in high school, and then for the past like 3 or 4 years did nothing, and then the past year I got back into gaming, and here I am.
Well, we're thrilled to have you.
And Doom.
Well,
Lots of Doom.
Doom's excellent. Doom's good. Well, we're happy to have you, and I'm sure that corner of our listening audience will be thrilled to have someone advocate on their behalf, because God knows we have trashed Xbox now for, 2 years, I think? PC, Xbox, everything. Anything Microsoft, we've kind of been mean and nasty about it, but somehow hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people listen to this thing every week.
This is true.
Which is insane. And by the way, shout out, because I have to, the last show, which almost hit 250 some listens just in the short, it does like each 7-day period or whatever. I mean, it was massive.
Right.
Whatever's going on in Southern California, what's up? Shout out to San Jose. I mean, I don't know what's out there, but I mean, there's like over 60% of the people listen from there. So California, we love you, baby.
I do remember. I remember one point you were mentioning that like somehow like a lot of our listeners seem to be like on military bases, like through iHeartRadio or something.
Correct.
So that's always cool because like I know I've had buddies that have been in military doing whatever, and you just have so much downtime, right? If you're not playing video games, you're like listening to people talk about them or watching them on Twitch or YouTube or something.
Or listening to us make fun of Brad on an international stage, which
Hey,
is
no, it is
thrilling. Thrilling.
I got to do my Swedish impression. Are we ready? Are we? I
Please,
can't.
God, no.
No.
Anyway, so quickly, now that we've done brief introductions, we'd be remiss if we didn't say we're happy to be back. And you can check us out on all the usual stuffs. Most people check us out on iHeartRadio. You can definitely listen there. It's for free. And on your favorite device, just iHeart.com/GamerFeedRadio. Boom, it should pop up. Or you can search for GamerFeed Radio and you can check us out there. Most everybody else does. We're also on iTunes, of course, because everybody is, or your favorite pod streaming app. So you can definitely check us out on all the things at GamerFeed Radio on Twitter, and Facebook is pretty much where all the stuff happens. So that's that news. I don't think I missed anything, did I? No. Maybe the website. We'll talk about that later.
Yeah.
Cool.
Website's
Sweet.
always a work in progress. But yeah.
Hey, all the shows are available, right? Oh, YouTube. I forgot
They are.
to say. All the stuff's automatically posted
Yeah.
to YouTube at the end of each show, so you can definitely go there. You can subscribe and check it out. All the archives are there, including if you go back just a little bit, you might accidentally see some hysterical videos that we made about a year ago. I don't know if you guys have gone back to see that, but Brad, you're an idiot.
Oh wait, what? Those are still up?
Oh yeah, I
God.
didn't take any of
Those
that
are,
stuff down. So the old
oh boy.
DLC shows and which I'd always thought was ironic. They're out there.
I believe
man. Nintendo Banana.
Nintendo Banana is the only good show that we've ever done. All right. We're bringing it back when NX comes out. I'm going to start my own Nintendo podcast called Nintendo Banana.
I think that I might be willing to share copyright with you. I might.
Good.
No. All right, sweet. So, in case we forgot to mention it before, this episode is all about the Noobs feed, which is all the news noobs need to know. And because it wouldn't be any fun unless there was an intro, I have one. What? So it's the Noobs feed, everybody, where you can check out and hear us talk about all the things, the latest in gaming and stuff. Let me just fade this down so you can hear me blather on for several more minutes. And so we've got a ton of different things. You guys, we have the typical rundown in the agenda, but as everybody knows who listens to the show, it's totally random. Shit just pops up out of no place. So if anybody has a topic or a thing on the agenda makes you think of something else, by all means chime in. We try to limit it to an hour because your attention spans are the size of a pea. So, first things up, because we didn't get to talk about it before the summer break at the E3 shows, was Nintendo and all of the big bomb drop news about Zelda Breath of the Wild. So I'll just hand it out there for thoughts and impressions.
I'm like so on board. I could not be more excited. It literally looks like the greatest thing ever. It's like the best parts of Skyrim and Zelda and just like open world games. And it's like for sure going to be like the killer thing for NX. Like whenever it's fully revealed, this is going to be like Twilight Princess levels, like Wii insanity if they pull this off. Like, I don't know, they've been working on this game for forever, and it just totally looks like it's paid off. Like every video, they put out like literally hours of videos, and they're all like incredible. So at this point, I'm kind of going to go into blackout mode, try to avoid info on the game because I want to go in as like blind as possible. But still, it's brilliant.
I think I've only seen the E3 trailer, but it does look good.
Yeah, it's just like, even the music, they got the atmosphere perfect. It seems like a course correction from Skyward Sword, which I'm actually replaying right now. And it literally looks like just like the polar opposite, which I love both styles of Zelda game, but this is going to be the first time they've done something as open as this since like the very first one on NES.
Excellent.
Anyone else?
Kyle? He's the most reliable person in the
Also
universe.
eating dinner.
We did not even get a BRB.
Well, I figured it was Zelda and Brad would have gone on forever. Sorry.
God
damn
There's
it.
a dog.
Oh my god.
I mean,
This couldn't be better. It could not have been more perfect. That has to go in like the montage of greatest game.
shut the hell up, Bowie.
Wow. So while Kyle is getting a handle on his dogs, look at the expense of sounding cliche, and as much as I hate to agree with Brad, and I do, I'm really well. We all do. It's annoying, but it only happens rarely because most of the time he's so deadbeat wrong. You feel really good about yourself the next show. But look, I think you're right, man. I think it's going to be huge. I mean, it's interesting that Nintendo's approach at E3 was all in on Zelda. I mean, they kind of maybe talked a little bit about Pokemon Sun and Moon, and they talked a little bit about the stupid Federation Force, which everyone is murdering in all of the reviews this week.
Please just get it out of the way.
We'll talk
It's like
more about that
nasty
next.
tube.
Yeah, more about that next. But I think the game. I mean, just the gameplay. If you watch any of the Treehouse stuff live at the E3 or on Twitch, I mean, we were streaming it on our Twitch feed, Gamer Feed Radio. But we, just watching all the details and like the cool magnet thing, and there's obviously a big story, and there's much more than we really know. The kind of infusion of that weird kind of technology, but it's still in the past. It's very interesting. So I'm really curious to see, how it all plays out. But the game looks great. It sounds amazing. I can't wait to play it. Kyle?
Yeah.
9 out of 10 times, I would disagree with you both, except with Zelda.
Yeah.
They're going to bring their A game. It's one of the two things that I think really keeps Nintendo afloat. Obviously, the other one being Pokemon, which single-handedly. Well, we'll talk about that later. So I mean, I agree with you guys. It looks great. I believe the hype. I will certainly play it whenever I can. If I get an NX, obviously I'll get it. But I'm gonna kind of go with Brad and just kind of be in the dark about it for the next whatever it comes out.
Right.
And just enjoy it when I finally see it.
Yeah,
Indeed.
I mean, it'll be real interesting to see how that plays out, right? Because of the Wii U release and then the NX release, and what will there be, if any, differences between the two versions that they haven't disclosed yet? And speaking of NX, we don't even know anything about it. We're supposed to get more information in September, which is apparently the new news month. I mean, anybody else get the memo? But more on that. Yeah, more on that in just a moment. But so we talked about. Well, does anybody have anything else about Zelda? Anything else that you're looking for, or wish list, or anything that you saw that you didn't like?
I think pretty much everything was, about as perfect as I could have imagined. The only thing that I'm not crazy about the design of Link, but I like the fact that this is the first game where you can get multiple outfits and outfit of armor and stuff. So you're really more customizable in this one. So even though I don't like the artwork that they've shown with this weird looking blue, it looks like when you start in Wind Waker, that blue outfit that you wear.
Yep.
I'm not crazy about that, but I'm thinking that's your starting suit, and you can obviously get better stuff just like you would in a Skyrim or something. But yeah, that's the most my point is that the design of Link and all the artwork is kind of meh, but that's nothing.
One thing I hope, the way I think the game's going to turn out, I hope it does. It might be a complete style shift for Nintendo and go right back to what Zelda was originally about, and was about exploring. And
oh yeah,
there's obviously a degree of that with every Zelda game, but still there's a set pathway that you must take to complete the game. It's still a linear game. The first Zelda was not. You could find anything Zelda, and you could face it way unprepared and get your ass kicked. And I want that in the new Zelda. I want to find things before I'm supposed to find them, and actually get the living tar beat out of me and be like, oh God, I'm unprepared for this. I want to be unprepared. I want to explore and become stronger through any means necessary without being kind of taken on a specific pathway timeline thing,
Right.
Yeah, you'd be able to find a staircase in the first one, not even know if it was a dungeon and walk in and get killed before you could look around.
Yeah. That's great.
Exactly.
It's like the greatest feeling is, you stumble into like, oh shit. Like, what is this? Like,
Oh shit.
so good.
Shoot.
Like maybe I can accidentally run in the game and 2 hours in the game and be like, oh fuck, like shit.
Yeah. Oh, God.
F-bombs.
I will say the 3DS one, Link Between Worlds, they did kind of open it up for the first time, I feel like. And maybe they were experimenting with that for Breath of the Wild, but it felt like in that one you could complete at least the majority of the dungeons in any order, rather than like you do A, B, C, D. It was more just like, here's 5 dungeons, complete them at whatever pace. It was pretty interesting they did that.
I need to play it because everyone tells me I need to play it.
Oh,
And
legit, yeah.
Also, it's a direct sequel to my favorite Zelda game, so
Yes. Oh, especially, yeah, you would get a kick out of it for that reason alone, is that like it's tied so closely to the Super Nintendo one.
yeah. Well, I mean, the world is basically the same.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's some differences, but yeah.
Some differences, but I mean, the layout's pretty much the same. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, they pulled that off like really well.
So yeah, I'm excited for New Zelda. Of course, I am.
Absolutely.
Excellent. So, because I mentioned it, now I feel bad that I did. Metroid Federation Force, which Brad famously predicted would actually not be made real, and he's wrong.
Well, I think they were too scared to pull the plug on it, so they just kind of like set it out in August
You were wrong.
to let it die. The game's gonna bomb. I don't
You're
think
wrong.
anyone bought it. I don't think anyone likes it. It's just the quicker they got it over with, it just like, you know, they were just wincing in pain, I'm sure, as they released it. And they're just like, oh, God, here it is. Oh, just get rid of it.
And Brad was wrong.
I know, I was wrong, but they should have canceled it, so I was right at heart.
It's like the Four Swords or Triforce Heroes of Metroid.
Yeah. At least Triforce Heroes was like sort of a real Zelda game. This one is just like an abomination.
You
Well-
just got like 3 different color links. Not a real Zelda game.
True.
But it wasn't. There was a rumor? There was a couple stories that came out. I want to say it was either like Sunday or Monday this past week, where they were like, "Dude, if you get all the way to the end of the game, there's like a nod to a yet to be named future Metroid game." I don't know what happens at the end. I didn't actually like cheat and look at the.
It's gonna be Metroid Baby Force 2, and they're gonna be wearing their little cutesy robot outfits. So stupid. It's the worst looking game ever made. It's actually the second worst looking game ever made. The first worst looking game ever is they made Bomberman for 360.
Yes,
and it was like gritty and like it was like
I'm looking this up now.
it might have been a first person shooter. It's called Bomberman Zero or something.
yes,
like
it was
that.
terrible.
Bomberman Act Zero or Mission
Rest
Zero.
in peace, Bomberman.
Act 0.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. It's like Iron Man on the cover.
So that's the worst looking game ever. Metroid Federation
34% on Metacritic.
Yes.
Okay.
Literally, that game is slightly worse than Federation Force, but that's it.
Question about that though: is Bomberman exclusively owned by Microsoft or something now?
I don't know what. I feel like he dropped off the face of the earth. I love Bomberman. That was like
I
some of
love
my
Bomberman
favorite.
too, and I think Nintendo could do something great if they'd let them.
Yeah, they
Published
just
by
got stupid stuff.
Konami.
Oh, that explains it.
Well, then it's dead because they're
yeah.
idiots.
Bomberman 5 Phantom Pain DLC.
Could it be in an alternate universe with zombies?
Pachinko machine.
They're gonna make a bomb. You know, no joke. I'm sure they have a Bomberman Pachinko machine.
Absolutely, in Japan, and they all pay for it in Neo Tokyo. Anyway, interesting. I'm really sad that they chose to release it anyway, but welcome to Nintendo. And you know, this wasn't on the thing, but there was it was announced, I want to say yesterday, that I guess Nintendo owned part of the Seattle Mariners.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
they sold it. Yeah.
And they made like $661 million from the sale. I mean, I'm all about extra cash, which is hilarious. But I had no idea
Also-
that they owned the team.
Yeah,
they still
used
own
to
10%
do, like,
of it.
right. I remember that was one of the things that their old president before Iwata
Yamauchi.
did. Yamayuchi or
whatever.
Yamuchi, whatever,
Yeah.
right.
Mhm.
He obviously, you know, Japanese baseball culture is like pretty popular as, you know, America, not as popular. Whatever, I don't know. What I'm trying to say is the Japanese like their baseball, right? And the American headquarters is based in Washington, so kind of the like Seattle, whatever. But yeah, they literally have like Mario nights at the Mariners ballpark, from what I understand. Like,
no mo.
He was not a mascot, but he was like, they had unofficially Nintendo related things. I'm sure they had 3DS Street Pass crap, and who knows.
Oh,
but yeah.
they've got that at the Red Stadium too, though.
Oh yeah. Well, that makes sense, right?
But an interesting thing about this, and it's going to lead into the NX here, is that they were going to use the Tegra, what's it called? Tegra X1 chip that's in the Android Shield TV. But the rumor is now that they're going to move to the X2, which is going to come out in between now and X. So were they selling it to be able to switch those chips out with the extra cash?
Ooh, that'd be sweet. That would be really sweet, because if they can do it cheap enough, like literally the way Nintendo wins is by making their system the cheapest one. That's how they've always won. Like, they always start off fumbling, and then they end up cutting the price, and they end up doing okay. If they just start with a low price, you have to launch it literally at like $200 or at most $250, and that's the only way you keep up with Xbox and PlayStation. Like, the Wii was so much cheaper than the 360 and the PS3, and that's a huge reason why it killed. Yeah, especially the PS3.
Expensive when it came out.
Literally more than 50% cheaper. If that sounds right. It was like, the PS3 was $600 and this was $250. So right. Insane.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, they in them, and we can talk about these new rumors. So Eurogamer, I think, was the one that broke it. That they pretty much confirmed that at least some part of NX will be a portable system, which by all description sounds like a tablet with detachable controllers. So
it would be the first gaming tablet.
Right, first dedicated.
Not significant.
Right, so like the Vita was pretty powerful, but I would never call that a tablet.
No.
If they pull off an NX tablet that somehow connects to a home system, like an Apple TV or like kind of that system, that could be neat. But I'm still on the fence, or I'm still on the team that believes that like they're going to be two separate systems of the NX. One will be a home system, and one will be a portable system. I don't think there's going to be one thing called quote-unquote NX. I think it's going to be a family of systems is what they kind of hint at. So they're all going to run the same games. They're all going to have the same software. But I'd expect to say like two versions of the NX come out. One is a dedicated home system with a regular-looking, Nintendo Pro controller. Or you could buy this tablet thing with detachable controllers, and then you could take the exact same software on the go. Unlike the Wii U gamepad where you had to be in the same room, this would act more like a 3DS or a Vita where you could just play the full game wherever you want. And I'm sure on the tablet it will run at a lower resolution and probably choppier or something. I don't know. But I think the core there is going to be they're all going to have the same games and apps and everything. But yeah, it's my theory.
Chelsea, we literally don't know anything. So
I know. Like the fact that I'm proud of them for keeping the leaks so minimum, because it's amazing it hasn't happened more.
It's literally been like the patent filings and that's it.
Yeah, and even those could have nothing to do with it. Like they've filed 1 trillion patents over the years, I'm sure. But
there's like rumors of dev kits.
I know, right? Yeah, it's so funny. I remember one guy that works on like whatever it's called. Mojang or whatever they make Minecraft, right? I remember him tweeting like months ago that he was gonna get to see the NX for the first time, and like it's so amazing that we know people have seen it, but that nothing's come out. It's driving me crazy as a Nintendo fan.
Well, I mean,
right,
I think it's I think it's hilarious when you look at that versus the next several topics all about PlayStation, where they can't keep the lid on anything, right?
Oh, no. About clusterbuck, right?
Right. So, anybody have anything else about NX?
No, other than I'm excited for September if that's when they really do unveil it.
If it is a tablet, I'm hoping that they do a paid subscription like Sony and Microsoft do, and then you also get a SIM card in it, so you don't have to be on Wi-Fi. They could contract out to like AT&T or Verizon or whatever for a data connection.
Yeah. But I will mention real quick, since it's a little news bits, Brad's bits.
Tidbits. Brad's tidbits.
Mario made a pretty central appearance there at the Olympic closing ceremonies as a tease about the Tokyo 2020 Olympics coming up.
Super great.
So I'm sure that Nintendo fought pretty hard because even with Pokemon Go and stuff, they're making their characters, more widely, whatever you'd call it. They're not as close with their properties now. They're just kind of putting them out for lack of a better term.
They want them to be present.
They're whoring Mario out into the Brazilian streets.
Yeah.
So
the fact that they're putting Mario on the Olympics, it's like, hey, get ready for Nintendo to drop the big bomb of NX here soon.
And Mario Olympics on the NX.
I know, somebody commented. So, that Mario Tokyo 2020 Olympics confirmed for NX?
So dumb.
Yeah.
So dumb.
I love it, though. I'd probably buy it. I don't care.
Excellent. So,
depend on the price.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that price would be free.
We'll see.
No, I won't. I haven't bought any of that crap. I never will unless it's free. Okay. So Nintendo doing stuff and things. Hopefully September we find out. That would be amazing. I guess we'll find out.
September.
What?
Or not so much September.
Yeah, something.
Oh yeah.
Something.
Sorry, that was an awkward segue. Anyway.
I know what's going on. I know where you're going.
Oh.
Okay, Final Fantasy 15.
Fail.
I'll take this over, guys. Don't worry about it. I'm not upset.
Since the movie did come out, it's going to hold you over, isn't it?
Final Fantasy 15 is what you're talking about, right?
Yes, Final Fantasy 15 delayed till November.
Bastard.
I am a little disappointed because September 30th is my birthday, and I was like, yay! But no. My friend brought up a really good point about it. I'd rather, if 2 months is what's going to take for this game to be at its peak, then go ahead and take the 2 fucking months. I don't care.
Yeah.
Wasn't the official statement like a late game's late for 2 months, a bad game's bad forever?
Yeah.
Isn't that one of their official?
That's a great. Right. It's a great quote, and I do think, actually, Kyle, unlike my supreme disdain last year for them deciding to delay Zelda, I'm actually okay with it too, but for just a slightly different reason, and that is, I'm actually curious to know what it is that they're doing. Because if you play the episode Disque demo, which is phenomenal, I mean, that is an extremely polished experience. So people who have played the game, who've gotten access to it behind the curtains, IGN posted some stuff. I know Kotaku had some things where they were talking about, we've got our hands on it, we've played some parts, and everybody who's played is like, dude, it's so smooth, it's just like the demo, and the demo was terrific. So I'm wondering what exactly it was that put the brakes on it, for real, because it's pretty good. I mean, it's polished. I mean, after 10 years, the damn thing better be... I mean, if it's anything less than a 10...
Years, right?
Literally, if it's anything less than a 10, it's like a failure for Square, because the game's waited forever.
Yeah, you guys said Zelda was taking forever. Come on, we got a decade on this game.
Right, yeah.
Well, that's because Final Fantasy 13 was so abysmal.
Well, honestly, there have been 3 main console Zeldas announced and released since this game was announced for the Final Fantasy 13 saga or whatever, right?
Boo.
Like that was announced before Twilight Princess came out. And now we're already on Breath of the Wild, and still this game is like,
It's going to be amazing.
It started as Versus 13, right? That was what it was called?
No,
correct.
It was originally Versus 13, yeah.
Yeah, and then it kind of just changed its name to 15, right?
Right. And I mean, and I think the reason why people were so excited about this game when it was still Versus 13 is because it seemed like a departure from the rest of the bullshit.
Yeah, it was like more action-y, and it looked like a different tone and stuff, right?
And so it kind of evolved into its own thing and became Final Fantasy 15, and that's completely okay.
Honestly, if it's good enough, it might be the first Final Fantasy I play, like, in its full on a console at launch, like, ever. So I'm actually pretty optimistic about it. Like,
you play 14 at all?
No, I haven't played literally.
I played 14.
I played the handheld ones on DS, which are like the old games ported over, and I never even beat those. I just kind of like played around with them and enjoyed them. But this will be my first proper. If I get it at launch, it'd be my first like proper Final Fantasy game on a console when it comes out. Like, I'm pretty excited about it.
Like, my only proper at-launch game was Tactics Advance, also the only one that I played all the way through.
Exactly, right, yeah. I only ever dabbled in any of those handheld ones back in the day.
Tactics Advance were awesome games. So I'm happy generally about the fact that we're going to get it regardless. It's coming. I can't wait. The demo's amazing, and if the final product is anything like what I've played, it's going to be amazing. Amazing.
And I will say also, I think they said, don't worry, like the game is. Oh wait, am I talking? Oh, I'm hearing an echo. Sorry, I'm like.
It's on. Then that's your fault. Then, just saying.
I know, I'm sorry. But no, so they said that the game is finished. They're like, don't worry, this isn't like a delay for content or something. This is just like instead of patching the game online on day one, what we're doing is delaying it and making that patch part of the game. That way, for the customers, I think they said, like, quote unquote, the customers that don't have online connection or don't want to download a gigantic patch can still have the full experience right out of the box, which is so much better because, like, which we'll get to in a second, we keep saying that. But like No Man's Sky had a giant day one patch, and it's just like not everyone can plug in their stuff to the internet for hours. Like,
apparently they didn't let the reviewers know that ahead of time.
Right, they gave them a copy, and they're like, oh, by the way, we're fixing it, but then it's going to be this ongoing process. But whatever, that's the weird thing about video games anymore. So good on Final Fantasy for just hopefully releasing a polished, complete, not buggy garbage game. So yeah, praise be to the Square team.
I really hope so.
One last quick question on Final Fantasy. I see on Steam here we got 13 and 13.2. Is this like totally different than those, or how does that work?
You mean like the game? You mean like the games, like the numerical sequence of the games?
Yeah, because you said that this started out as a sequel to Final Fantasy.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah. So at least that was the original idea. So. When they originally released Final Fantasy XIII, there was going to be, this darker side series that was going to take place within the same universe. And the interesting thing about Final Fantasy is, for the most part, each numbered release it
is completely separate.
Yeah, it's its own sort of legend, even though the names and the items are sometimes the same. So you understand like the lore of the world, the story, the conflict, the final battle, or whatever changes.
I understand that.
Yeah. So, but that's the only thing. I mean, what it originally was intended to be, and back then, I don't know how it would have changed or is different. All I know is it plays great.
Nice.
Go. That's all.
Looks good.
It really does. The demo is amazing. So, okay, Final Fantasy 15 coming in November. Hurry the hell up.
Yep.
Into other news, PlayStation Land, because there's so much of it that released within the last week.
Oh,
I'm sure everyone's buzzing about.
Floodgates just opened
so
up.
I'll just briefly tap on a few of them. The PS4 4.5 or Neo or whatever images leaked. Those are out there, and also just yesterday, I think, the rumor of a new controller with some slightly different lighting, which is interesting. And then, of course, the new and upcoming 4.0 user interface significant upgrade that's coming to PS4 soon. Are all great, cool hardware things that are to be talked about. So, giddy up.
I think with the images that leaked aren't of the Neo or the 4K.
Slim, right?
It's going to be the Slim, right? It's going to be the same PS4 we have now, but in the smaller box and hopefully cheaper. But the Wall Street Journal, I want to say, put out a report that Sony's going to announce 2 consoles in September. One's going to be the Slim, and it's probably going to be like a wannabe Apple, and it comes out today, one of those deals. Which is why people have their hands on it already, because it's clearly already in production. Same thing has happened when Xbox Slim was announced and whatever. That's not as big as the Neo. So the Neo, still nobody knows its specific specs, and it's funny, it was redundant. Or it's design.
I've actually got them right here in front of me.
I guess, but there's a difference between it's in my hands the Slim, and we don't have the
I've got the specs that I haven't seen.
Oh, okay, right.
So nobody's seen the They just know what Sony's announced about it. Which,
lay 'em on
if
us.
what they've said is true, they need to change that. There is no point to having a PS4K and a PS4 Slim, because like the Xbox One S is both of those rolled into one.
It literally is, right. It's the Xbox One S is I think it's going to kill PS4 this year. Like, if they really do this, then they're going to get clobbered, I think. Like, especially with this in a second, too. They're raising the price on PS Plus. Like, they're making all the wrong choices this year, and it's been really bizarre. But, yeah. Sorry.
No, that's fine. I mean, you're right, because the price increase, right, that wasn't actually on the agenda, but it's notable.
I'm just throwing a bunch of stuff together.
No, it's good. I mean, it's all based on the platform. I mean, I just had to re-up the other day because I was due, thank God, before the September date that they're picking for everybody else. So my price will not go up until next year. But so lucky me. But I mean, you're right. It's curious, is what it is.
So odd that they raised that price right before they made it available to PC. So you get this huge new audience, and you're like raising the price on the same day, and it's kind of like, no, like I don't want that.
Right.
Yeah, very weird what they're doing.
But if you think about it, though, in all fairness to them, and I know Netflix just did this recently because I got an email about it the other day. Your rate is changing from $8.99 a month to $9.99 a month, whatever. But the reason, so Sony stated on their blog, or PlayStation blog the other day, they were like, oh, well, we haven't changed the pricing since anything in 2010. So if you think about the time that's passed, regardless of the timing, they were going to have to raise the price at some point anyway, just because of the nature of the business and how it all works. So I'm not as butthurt about that, even though I say that being the guy that didn't have to fork over the extra $10. But this year, I mean, Amazon had to do it with the Prime membership, and then they add things and they take shit out. I mean, everybody's always messing with these subscription services, so whether they did it now or at Christmas, they were going to have to do it. So,
I guess. But the big thing that bugs me is that their game selections have been like pure garbage for the past maybe 2 years, with the exception of like Rocket League. Mm-hmm. That's the one time they got something right. So I would be okay with it if for the next couple months they start killing it on the games. I'd honestly be fine with the price increase because it's like at least I'm getting something better for my money. Mm-hmm. But I feel like they already basically raised the price, quote unquote, when they made it mandatory to play online, just like Xbox. So like I figured by doing that, they're probably recouping the cost of their new system infrastructure, yada yada yada. But like the fact that we've gotten these horrible games and now they have the balls to like raise the price, like honestly, if the next couple months don't kill it, I do mine every December, like around Christmas time. Like if the next 3 months of games aren't good, then there's no way I'm gonna resubscribe. I just don't play enough online multiplayer. I'd rather just save that $60 until like, something I desperately want to play online comes out. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty disappointed with it.
I think that's fair. I mean, it's an interesting money grab on both Sony and Microsoft's part because, you have to have it for the online connectivity for a lot of the games that are out there. So,
right, yeah.
It's like it's a necessary evil. I mean, at least we're not arguing about $100 annual subscription fee yet. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, it's basically the price of a game now. So, hopefully it sticks there for the next 6 years and we aren't having this conversation because by then hopefully we're all retired and own islands. That'd be great.
I would also say that Xbox Live has costed $60 a year for like maybe 2 years now. Mm-hmm. So it's really not that big a deal because like Xbox has already been the same price for a while. But Xbox games, like I always look at them every time they announce them, like for the free month games, like they're always so much better than the PlayStation ones. Like so much better. It's actually like ridiculous. Like we'll get Tricky Towers. It's a physics-based game. And it's just like they'll like legit, real, good-looking games, and I'm like, damn it. But whatever.
No, it's fair. It's fair. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. The Neo, if in fact it is announced in September, I don't know that it will be. I know that's the rumor.
I'm sure it will be.
I don't know, man. I don't know because of Xbox's whole Scorpio thing. Like, are they going to really open up the vest and let Xbox know what they're going to do, or are they going to talk about it
Honestly,
like that with like a teaser reel and then let it just kind of sit out there and marinate for several months and then come to us in the spring and launch it at E3. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like...
I think it'll be more concrete than what Xbox did, but honestly, I got to go with Xbox with the alpha move of, like, announcing that they're going to be doing something big next year, because it kind of takes the wind out from under PlayStation, because now, like we were saying a second ago, it makes PlayStation look silly that they have these two new devices they're going to unveil, a Slim and a Neo, when Xbox is potentially going to kill both of them, you know, like in the short term at least. But
right. That's why I'm saying it.
I don't know.
If it were me, I would just wait. I would do some kind of teaser, and I would just wait.
Yep, Xbox does, yeah.
Yeah, if it's significantly cheaper, then like maybe they'll sell some. But if it's going to be the same price as PS4 was at launch, forget it.
Exactly, it's going to be stupid.
Yeah, because the life cycle isn't over yet. So then it's like, well, what's going to be the big game-changing feature or capability? I mean, 4K isn't going to be enough. 6K is out there now. That's not going to be enough. I mean, those kind of tech specs aren't going to do it. I mean, the system already does really well on its own, as is. It plays games and it does it great.
Right.
So I don't know what they think the killer feature is going to be, or if they really think there's going to be some kind of big game that's going to just blow the lid off. I don't know, man.
Honestly, the number one thing that's killing me in the back of my head is if they try to make the Neo be like the VR machine. Because I've got my PlayStation VR pre-ordered based on the promise that, you know, the regular launch PlayStation 4 will be able to play these VR games. But if it turns out that that won't be the case, like sooner than later, and that me being a regular PS4 owner gets screwed over by buying the headset without the Neo, like I'm going to be real salty, and I'm going to be, you know, not a fan of the PlayStation no more.
Well, think of it this way.
See.
Sony has not done anything that douchey yet in this generation.
They did just raise the prices.
Oh,
so
stop. That's not douchey, that's business.
I know, but I'm saying they might be going down this path of like the success has gone to their head, and maybe they think they can get away with more than they really are.
Hey, I mean,
because we all know, Xbox fumbled so bad out the gate that like PS4 by default already had this head start.
Yeah,
but
well, I mean,
don't know.
It was just like last generation. They were all up. They had their heads up their asses with PlayStation 3. Hey, let's launch a console at $600. What a great idea! Look how that turned out.
Honestly,
for them.
I could see them doing note for note the same thing with the Neo. I could see them fumbling so hard on that thing.
I just
I would not put it past.
The console life cycle, and I know that these big executives keep talking about this. They're like, well, look at your smartphone. Every year you get a new... The console life cycle is never going to be like that. Never. It's just not. Even in PC land, you can buy upgrades and stuff, but you're not rebuying a new $3,000 or $4,000 core system every year. You're just not. And so
you still have the same software across all of them on the smartphones too. Is that how they say it's going to work on consoles?
Well,
I hope
that's
so.
Like, that's what
still,
Microsoft wants, but Sony hasn't mentioned anything about it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that kills me.
That's true. That's true. And to me, like the way I see it is, I mean, look at an example of Activision and Bungie with Destiny. They're just now ending support for previous generation consoles for games that exist in this generation. So if the publishers that make the games aren't in alignment with whatever your hardware strategy is, because, you know, they're not going to change their plans or deviate their release plans significantly to accommodate a new technology, I mean, you have to figure there's some kind of communication going on there someplace. That
they spend so much money on developing all their engines and everything that you turn around and tell them, nope, you got to start over.
Yeah, I just don't think that's going to happen.
What I've read developers are not happy with Neo and Scorpio. And I think they're kind of like what we've all been sort of saying is that, like, it's annoying that for consoles, for developers, the easiest part is that, like, okay, I know
everybody's got the same system.
Yeah. So, like, with a PC developer, it's kind of more, you know, work involved in that. I got to make sure the low-end guys get something decent here. I got to make sure the pro guys get this, like, over-the-top, amazing experience. So, like, a game like Witcher has to, even though it's a demanding game, has to have some kind of low mode versus a high mode, you know? But, like, with consoles, for developers, it's like, okay, good, there's PS4 and that's it. Or there's Xbox and that's it. But now there's not. It's a Neo. Now I got Launch. Now I got Slim. Now I got... Like, it could be real messy here soon. That's why we all got to go NX, and then
Well,
it's all
look, yeah.
culture.
Well, look, I mean that kind of system fragmentation isn't. It's not a moneymaker. It's it would be at huge cost to everybody because the consumer, that's you and I, we are not ready to pay for. I'm not spending $300-400 on a new system. I don't give a shit what it's called.
Yep, exactly.
It's not happening.
I would not buy it.
I love
for
my
any reason.
system. I'm keeping it for the next 5 years until I'm ready to buy a new one and all the games dry up. That's how it works. So unless it's going to happen in the next year, I think Xbox and PlayStation are screwed with any kind of new system because I don't think people are going to develop for it right out the gate. I really don't.
I guess, but like at least Xbox does have the advantage of all PC Windows
That's
10
true.
PC games will work on Xbox, and the fact that all Xbox Scorpio games will work on launch Xbox Ones. Also, they've already gone out and made that clear at E3. Sony, like we said, hasn't done that. They're way wishy-washy and messy with this whole thing. So let's give it let's see how the next couple months play out. But I'm honestly more inclined, if I were Daddy Warbucks, to wait for an Xbox Scorpio and see what they're up to. And then I could catch up on like Xbox One games that I've missed. But we'll see, right? I wish I had more time to game anyways, but right.
Yeah, amen to that.
If I'm going to do that, then I'm going to go the Newman route and just build an amazing PC and get all the Xbox games anyways. So,
hey, some people are smart with that whole twofer thing.
I've learned something today.
What?
Just by listening to you guys. I've been
Wait, what?
silent this whole time, and I'm just like, I felt like saying something. I'm learning things.
I'm sorry.
I don't know anything about anything you're talking about, so I'm just kind of tuning out.
Look, I mean, the only other thing system-related that PlayStation has been talking about is their new 4.0 user interface, which is, in my opinion, kind of catching up to Xbox in what I believe is one of the better features coming, which is I'm playing in the middle of a game, and I have to push the PlayStation button and back out into the damn menu and scroll around to find all the shit that I want. Nope, not no mo. In 4.0, it'll have a nice little overlay menu, so you don't actually have to leave the game to go do a quick scroll, and you can customize what's in the menu, and you can add your chat people and stuff that Xbox has had forever. So I think it's a good move. It's sorely needed. They'll have folders, so you can group your shit in the X bar, or whatever the hell they call it now. In your menu, you can just group it up however you want, and people are always clamoring for, I want to customize my menu. So that'll be great for those people who are always butthurt about, I can't put a folder here. My God, you people are so OCD. Just give it up, man.
Word. No, I will. Xbox has always killed it on the operating system, and PlayStation has always had a garbage operating system. Literally from day one on PS4, I thought it was the ugliest thing, and it doesn't work that well.
Yeah, they're getting new icons too. It's going to have a sleeker, futuristic-y more look.
Yeah, honestly, it looks a little better from the videos, but it still is mostly butt ugly. Yeah. But luckily, I'm not there to stick around in the menus. I'm there to play a video game. So,
and for those of you that are, you have a brand new $299 Xbox One S that you can go buy. Giddy up.
Indeed, exactly. So, right.
Skip that phone for one more year and get yourself an Xbox. Anyway, anything else on PlayStation-y type stuff before we jump into some games and wrap up this shenanigan?
Negative.
Sweet.
Nope.
So No Man's Sky came out. No Man's Sky came out, and the hype train was faux reals. There was some early people that got it. I know we talked just a minute ago about the Super Day 1 patch that they forgot to mention. I don't want to talk too much about my exploits with the game. I want to save that for the next show, which will be a safe point, and we'll talk all about the games we've been playing. But general thoughts, overview, impressions of what you know or have read?
What'd you say?
It's a lot prettier than I was originally led to believe.
Yeah, it's good looking.
I just remember the early.
Go ahead.
I just remember the early trailers. They were all foggy. I didn't like the style choice, and now I'm watching gameplay footage actually right now as we speak, and it's a lot more vibrant than I originally thought it was going to be. So it looks great.
Definitely. It looks like Destiny, which is, I think Destiny is an amazing looking game, if nothing else. So yeah, they got the whole planet vibe down for sure. I haven't played it, but it's something that honestly for $20 even with all the mixed reviews. I'm still real excited to like hopefully play soon.
I would pay 40 for it. Hopefully, when it goes on sale this Christmas.
I'm sure by December it'll be discounted everywhere, right?
And hopefully by then they will have added in some of the features that are missing.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like they're, clicking a pretty good pace here for updating and patching stuff, so that's kind of cool.
One thing that does rub me the wrong way on it is they still are using the E3 game trailer on the Steam page, and that's the one where they show you flying around with other ships, and it makes it look like you're playing with your friends. But from what I understand, you never really like fly onto a planet with other ships, either it being AI or otherwise.
Yes, and more on that in my review, but that is, you are correct, sir. That is not something that exists today.
Word.
So for those of you that have it, initially look, for what it is and with its merits, I think it's good. We will have a more thorough, in-depth review next week when we talk about it on the save point.
More like No Man's Bye.
Felicia. So Pokemon Go, we talked a little bit about this a while back, and to be fair to the mobile gaming community, because it is such an insane, well, it was an insane fad, statistics this week indicate like precipitous drops in participation. I'm sure you're all shocked to hear that. But there have been big updates and changes to Pokemon Go in the last couple weeks, and more are coming. And, they keep promising the universe, even though people are kind of stopping playing it. Are you guys playing it? Have you played it? Are you still playing it? Why did you stop?
I log on like once a week.
Yeah,
I'm not really playing it anymore.
Really do it. We were all like super bit by the bug, it feels like. I mean, who wasn't? But it faded pretty quickly there, but I'm happy that Nintendo had a big hit. Like, that's a change of pace for them, so...
Right.
What was their stock increase? Like, something like 300% when...
Yeah, they...
that big.
The Japanese market, literally, they had to cap them at trading because they was skyrocketing so fast that, like, the Japanese stock market had to, like, stop Nintendo shares from being traded because it was so popular. It's, like, one of the rare times when it hit its cap or whatever, right?
I think it doubled, but then when they had their clarification statement about how they had nothing to do with the production of the game,
they're pretty much
back
like
to where it was.
Yeah, toilet bowl
like,
right back.
We don't have that much to do with it.
Yeah, that was the big turd that went right back down where it came from. Look, I mean, it was a good success for them from a business perspective. I think people are out there. There is a dedicated fan base of people that are still playing it in droves. Good for you. I'm glad you like to walk that much. I'm going to sit and play my games.
Do they understand how the new tracking system works? Because I sure don't.
Yeah, there's that. Well, that and everybody apparently has different versions. Like, there were some people that were in a select group I read that got, like, the super cool one that shows you pictures of where things actually are. Then there's some that just have pictures of the Pokemon, and then there's like a certain number of grass blades. I don't know. It's just stupid. How about let me go fight somebody? That would be great. Like, I just want to walk up to a dude and beat the shit out of him and be like, yo, my smartphone's better than yours, sister. You know?
Also, if they could explain how gym battles work, all I know is I'm tapping my screen a lot and losing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, all right.
It's so ridiculous, yeah.
It was really, you said earlier, like, I just want to sit down and play my games. And it's really funny, too, because after playing Pokemon Go for like a week, I actually just said, screw it. And I booted up Soul Silver on my DS. Like, that's what Pokemon Go did to me. It made me want to go play actual Pokemon. That's the only thing it accomplished.
Yep, honestly, on the eShop charts, I remember like all the red, blue, and yellow all jumped to the top again of the 3DS eShop, whatever charts. So they're definitely seeing the benefits Nintendo at large, not just
I think
from the app
great
itself.
for. Sorry.
No, you're good. Yeah.
I think it'll be great for Sun and Moon. I think because Pokemon Go, the sales of Sun and Moon will be substantial because of this.
Oh yeah, I bet it outsells X and Y, like for sure.
Yeah,
because of the hype is so high. I feel like.
Pokemon,
I mean, I've seen people just anecdotally, like on Facebook, that otherwise I've never seen interested in gaming or specifically Pokemon, say that they're like, they're sharing the Pokemon Sun and Moon trailer and like the characters that they're announcing and stuff. Like,
right.
They're more interested in Pokemon than it's been in like literally decades. So,
I wouldn't say decades. Black and white was pretty successful.
True, yeah. The
All they
DS
need is a new comps or a handheld to play it on, because they haven't had one of those in about a decade, have they?
Yeah. With the NX, I guarantee the portable NX or even the console version will get the Sun and Moon or some kind of,
Will it have
equivalent
the Pokemon MMO that we all want?
We all want it. We all want it. It's
Oh
dead
my
on,
god.
dead on. I've been dreaming of a Pokemon MMO since I was like 12. Before I even knew what an MMO was.
Before they had MMOs.
No,
Yeah.
I had like thing in my brain where it's just like, this needs to be bigger.
Yeah. No, I
Like-
totally agree with you.
This giant open world game, like, make it happen. Make it happen.
Well, hope one can only continue to hope. And remember, we are talking about Nintendo, so hedge your bets.
Get the spin-off series soon, and not what we wanted in the first place.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They'll stick their head out the window for a second. Someone stop them before they actually walk out the door and see modern gaming. Oh my god.
Wow, yes. So keeping with Nintendo just a bit more, you may recall, I know we posted this on Facebook a little bit ago, but there was some dude went out there and posted all 13 years or volumes of Nintendo Power Magazine. And they were out there and you could go through and flip through them pages and have that nostalgic flashback and go, oh my gosh, some of you may or may not be old enough to actually go back far enough to care, but it was a thing. I had my fair share of that. I was a subscriber for a long time myself, so, got it. But shortly, it was only up for like a week, and then sure enough, Papa N comes in and goes, nope, you can't put that online. So they took it off, and it's all gone now, but it was up there. I mean, cool for like a week.
I'm not.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
got to
I'm not-
protect their copyrighted characters that are showing up in it, is what it is.
Oh my god, because a
Yeah.
magazine from 15 years ago is going to kill their franchise. It's going to do it.
Right.
Well, no, but the argument's going to be, you didn't enforce the copyright on Mario. Here it is on the PS Vita now.
Oh.
True.
Somebody will come out with it. They'll fight it out in court, and it'll just get ugly.
True.
I guess. I don't know, man. I don't understand
This
all
is
that
just
crap.
an opportunity. I feel like this is an opportunity for Nintendo to do it themselves, like to release the PDFs on their website or something.
Yeah,
Have
but
a
it
Nintendo
won't.
Plus membership, and
Yeah,
you get all
literally,
of that,
right.
and you get the NX Online through the
No,
SIM card. They
when
just
they
need to
were-
hire me, and I'll run this for them.
Like literally, dude, when they came out with Earthbound for the first time on Wii U, it was like a big deal because it was the first time they released this game since it came out. It was never on like another system, and it was pretty much a lost game, quote unquote. And one of the things they did was they released it with a interactive version of the strategy guide, like on the Wii U gamepad, so you could like flip through the strategy guides pages on the gamepad while you play it on the TV. Like, literally, if they released like you were saying, some kind of like all the Nintendo powers on Wii U or on NX, you could flip through them on a tablet, like an ebook. Like that'd be such a big, that'd be such a big hit. I would pay like $10 to be able to like look through old Nintendo powers. Why not? But we'll see what they do. Who knows? Even like the Hyrule Historia, didn't they release that on Wii U as like an ebook? Am I crazy?
Yeah, you're crazy.
Oh,
But there is a
that's
new
so
one.
relatable.
There's a new
Yeah, they have a new
400-page
art book,
one that's coming out. Yeah, 400 pages of glorious art. Yes, please. Except it's like $40. It doesn't come out till February. February sometime.
Yeah.
But you
I'm
can
dumb
pre-order it
enough
now. $39.99.
I'll at you, boy.
Okay, so a couple more things quickly just to mention. For those that care, Deus Ex Mankind Divided came out today. Earlier today, I guess I should say, at midnight. I've not had a chance yet to jump in and play it, but I have every expectation to. It's getting great reviews out there. Not particularly a longtime fan of the series or anything like that. It just looked cool, and I'm ready for something else. I'm in a bit of a drought, so I'll report back in the future on that. Anybody have any thoughts generally about it?
Makes me want to go play an old one that I can get for pretty cheap before jumping into this
Yeah,
new $60.
Yeah, Human Revolution
Yeah.
was the previous one that apparently was really pretty good. People said it was really, really good.
Honestly, if you just go on GOG, I'm sure you could find, the Deus Ex 1 like the original. That game's supposed to be pretty killer. I've not played it, but it's just
Did
a
it
series
age well? That's a big problem. Is it going on in those old
With, like,
games that don't
you
age
know
well?
what? Dude, yeah. So fun little tangent here. Tidbit. I've probably talked about this on the show before, but I did that with System 2. I heard so much about this game, and I thought it was going to be this amazing classic game. I play it, and it just does not age well at all. Like, I played it for like 20 minutes, and I was like, this sucks. Like, it hurt to admit that. But I was just like, I do not like this, and why would I keep playing this if I'm not enjoying it? So I will say that some old PC games definitely do not age well. You know, something like Super Mario 64 ages really well, I think. But visually it's a little funny, but like, you know, gameplay wise, it still feels good to me. I don't know.
Oh, it's awful. It's terrible.
All right.
Here's what you do with those. You get them on an emulator. You turn the resolution up. You plug in an Xbox 360 controller and set your custom controls, and they work fine.
Yeah,
I just did it with Banjo-Kazooie a couple weeks ago.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
but Banjo-Kazooie is an ugly as sin. So, I mean, you know. And it's a better
Not
game.
1080p.
Well, yeah, but it's for as god-awful ugly as a lot of the Nintendo 64 games were, Banjo-Kazooie was a very vibrant, very cool game. So, you know, very
Oh,
vibrantly
I thought you were saying it was ugly. I'm sorry.
No. I'm saying Banjo-Kazooie is not a sin as compared to most other games from the Nintendo 64. So, yeah.
Well, speaking of Nintendo, one last time, I forgot to mention this earlier, too, is either yesterday or today is the 25th anniversary of the Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
So, giddy up to all
That
y'all out
aged
there.
very well.
Oh, heck yeah, 16-bit was
crazy.
classic.
That's because they had all the hand-drawn graphics in that one.
Indeed.
So,
Just
happy birthday.
so quaint. Like,
Yes.
I don't know, like,
So a
good
big,
stuff.
big happy birthday to the Super Nintendo. Most of us either have emulators and play it for free or whatever. Virtual
I
console.
own mine.
Word.
Whatever.
That's it. I own mine.
I still have mine. Well, technically it's my brother's. Well, it's at my brother's, but we still have ours from childhood. But
Wow.
yeah.
I think
Wow.
that and the Wii U are the only two Nintendo consoles I've never owned.
Nice.
Missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're missing out on one of those.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, I used to die on the Wii U, but you know, at this point, the best games from Wii U are guaranteed to show up on it. So yeah,
Yeah.
skipping that one.
Yeah. So the only other thing I put on the agenda is because it's coming out soon is the next Destiny expansion, Rise of Iron, is coming out on September 20th. There was a super huge announcement in Game Informer magazine, and then they were just at Gamescom, and they did a bunch of stuff at E3 and so on. So news explosion, lots of cool stuff in there for those of us that are fans.
Indeed.
Anybody have any other games or any other fun-related news before we wrap the show that has gone over by 3 minutes?
No, I got nothing.
Not really. I mean,
Star Citizen is gonna supposedly be everything what everybody wanted No Man's Sky to be if it ever comes out. Apparently they've got a new demo that is great, but it's still about 30 years away. So
Yeah, that game is never going to come out. So
oh,
I
and
would
the
say-
other one that I wanted to mention was Kingdom Come Deliverance. I was expecting to get a release date at Gamescom since it is about medieval Germany, but
Oh, nice.
no such luck.
yeah, that's one that, like any of these Kickstarter games, they just feel like they get delayed so often and stuff. It's just like so weird. But
They have
I'm
said
rooting
they're
for that
not
game.
gonna.
It looks so good.
They're not going to update the beta anymore until it comes out, so hopefully that means it's close. They did say
Yeah.
2017 coming out on PS4, Xbox One, and PC at the same time, but
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
is it true?
I don't know.
Is it true? Sorry.
No, go ahead, Kyle.
No, is it true that my number 9 turned out pretty bad?
Yes.
Oh yeah, R.I.P. that game, man.
That makes me worry about ukulele then.
You should be
No,
terrified.
ukulele looks legit. I think that game's gonna be awesome.
You should be terrified. Well,
That did look like a lot of fun.
unfortunately, or fortunately, we have to bring this show to a close. So, that being said, hopefully you all got all the information that you thought you needed to know or didn't want to know because we ramble, and that's what we do here. In the meantime, we had lots of topics. If you have any other topics, feel free to add them in the comments or post on our Facebook page. Ask us any questions. We are happy to chat at you or on Twitter at GamerFeedRadio. You can check out the show, as we said at the top of the show, on iHeartRadio and iTunes. Of course, it is always available out there on any of your favorite podcast streaming options. So, until next time, next week, it's going to be episode 80. I can't even believe that. And we're going to be talking about the save point, all the fun games we've been playing. So, until next time, gamers, peace.
Peace out.
Peace.